better for us, we're just going to go for it. And it worked out really well. And mostly because you guys are really awesome and helped us out a bunch. So thank you so much everyone who's been watching and supporting and all the rest of it. It's been a really awesome week, and I hope you've all enjoyed the games from it. If you go, give me just a moment. Is the uThermal clear enough on the screen? Does it need a bit of backing? Let me mess around with this momentarily. Super quick, guys. I'll fix this up. Super quick. Kapow. Oh, god damn it. I'm so bad at this. There we go. Beautiful. That'll just help make it a little bit clearer for you guys. Alright, hashtag Let's Go Liquid, says Snute, who spawns into the bottom left-hand side of the map in this best of 7 grand final. To the bottom left side it is Team Liquid Snute. It's an all Team Liquid final, guys, as we have to the top right-hand side of the map the blue Terran player. It is uThermal. Alright, so game 1 of this best of 7 grand final. Are you guys excited? I want to hear who you guys are cheering for in this series. You guys are quietened up and chat a little bit today. I know you're talkative in there, really, so even if you're watching in full screen, tap out for just a moment, get in here, and I want to hear who you guys are supporting. Are you cheering on uThermal? Are you cheering on Snute? We want to hear who you're supporting in this best of 7 grand final. $105 to second place as it stands right now with the current prize pool that has been donated. $275 I believe it is for first place right now, again, as the current prize pool stands. You can still add to that as well if you would like to. Type !Christmas in the chat. The match arena link is there if you'd like to donate to this prize pool. As these Reapers just move on in and looking to see what it can get up to. A few Zerglings moving forwards here, and again trying to trade with this Reaper. As these Zerglings just coming forwards, and very standard startup so far. Feels like ages since we've seen a TVZ, but we already casted a couple of them earlier today. So interested to see how this does end on up as we go on through. Hashtag Liquid Love in the chat, says Giacomaminata. I just completely murdered your name. Giacomaminata. I don't know. Just doesn't seem to go. Let's Go Liquid, says Alexat as well. I hope Liquid wins, says Acid Fire. Let's Go Terminal, says The Toilet Brush. Hashtag Boys in Blue from Miko. Go Bunny from Muku. Muku, I think you're watching the wrong series, mate. As we set on up, we're going to see this Link Speed about to kick things off from Snute, so he's about to get into that, and Stimpack on the way from uThermal, as he actually hides this second Rax off to the right-hand side. Now, that's a bit of an interesting one. I wonder why he hides it over here. I don't think it really matters, right? I mean, Snute's seen it anyway. I guess he just wants to build it there. Kind of save space in the kind of center of the map a little bit, I suppose. As we do see Starport coming up and the Reactor 2. So very standard 2-1-1 from uThermal at the start of this best of 7. And we've seen a few Lings coming forwards here, chasing this Reaper down. Reaper popping up in towards the main base as well. And you see that Queen killing off this Reaper. So Reaper gets taken down here, and a couple of Queens just going to be falling back. And again, Creep Spread just continuing to push out onto the map over the next few minutes. Stimpack is going to be about halfway done. And again, all these Marines just gathering up together on this ramp for now. Starport lives, going to be landed onto the reactor as well. And a couple more Marines continuing to pop out here and come on to play over the next few moments. Again, Snute with just a couple of overlords over to the right-hand side. We're going to be seeing this third hatchery finishing up as well. Queen going to inject onto the third hatch too, and just going to be dropping down a creep tumor here. A couple of engineering bays coming up as a follow-up. So very standard macro-oriented play here from uThermal as we set up into this. Snute is love, Snute is life, says Seeks in the chat. I like both, and may the best win, says Hive144. Snute's hair looks nice. Oh, thank you very much, Crasher, for the sub. Welcome to the sub team. Can we get some SGI hearts in the chat for our new sub? 165, boys. We are on the way to 173. We're on the way to beating our all-time record. I'm so excited. I believe us. We're going to make it. It's going to be sick. It's going to be legit. I'm so happy. I'm so hyped. It's happening. Anyways, these Marines are getting ready to fight on in, so here we go. Stimming on forwards. The Lings are going to come in from the right-hand side. And, well, uThermal just gets behind the mineral line. or behind the geyser, I should say. More or less the same thing where, well, not really at all. Behind the geyser, he's very choked up. Behind the mineral line, I guess generally just means you're killing workers. But, yeah, I mean, third medevac coming across the map as well. Snute's been maybe a little bit late to help him deal with this. Let's see what his micro is going to be like. When those extra few Lings and so come on in, life can become a little bit more difficult. Sorry, when the next few Marines come in, life can be a bit more difficult to defend this just with Ling Queen. So let's see how this goes. One Queen goes down. Widowmine burrows here. Is it going to go off? It is going to go off. Targus fires the Queen so it doesn't splash onto the Marines. And that's what we're talking about. Just a little bit too much here. Kaboom! GG! uThermal takes game number 1 just like... Is uThermal going to spawn on the right side of the map? He is. No changing of the name. Not just yet. As we jump on into this, let's see what happens to the top left side. Our red Terran player. It is uThermal from Team Liquid. Excuse me while I sneeze momentarily. That's the bottom right. Our blue Zerg player, also from Team Liquid. It is Snute. Setting up into this. You want a white ball? Sure thing, Crasher. Let me get you that out. I'm just going to write it now just so I don't forget. Otherwise, I've been quite bad with the balls lately. I've been getting worse as the days go by. You'd think I get better at remembering them. I actually get worse. Alright, so. Setting up into this, we're going to be seeing the 2-Racks opening. Alright. It's Reaper time. I saw this happen recently, actually. Someone did this against... was it uThermal against Snute? We casted it in Go for SC2 finals. Yeah, we cast this matchup the other day. It was a 3-1 victory, I think, for Snute overall. The last game being like a very fast Bane Burst or something. And this build was used by uThermal, and it was the game that Snute lost because he just he went Mass Ling and he kind of committed to kind of chasing down the Reapers, and then the Reaper grenades were just too well placed. And uThermal just ended up winning from there, basically. So it was pretty... it's some classic Reaperage, basically. It was like classic Reaper antics that came into play, so... We'll see how this goes, see if what Snute's response to this is going to be. As we set up into game number 2 of the best of 7. First Reapers will be popping out very shortly here, and we'll follow those across the map. There we go. Follow this Reaper over to the bottom right. And Snute will begin to recognize exactly what's going on now as well, because his Overlord is, of course, coming overhead. And so he's beginning to see, okay, well, you've got 3 racks on your low ground. I wonder what this could be. So he's going to know what's up as this Reaper comes in. And obviously, if you can pick up a few Zerglings here already, that would be a great start to this. Already a little bit of damage being done. This Reaper going to throw down another grenade there. And Zerglings from Snute continue to move forwards. This Reaper still just moving back and forth to see what else is going on. Been moving forwards as well. Nice little grenade up into the sky. And these 2 Reapers are going to start backing off once again. A few Zerglings coming forwards from Snute. And you see uThermal just thinking about kind of coming around a bit of a different direction. As Snute will go into the roaches. That's something he didn't do last time. It's something which a lot of players aren't doing nowadays. On a lot of these maps, they're actually going for the lane-based defense because there isn't a lot of ledges to utilize on these maps compared to the other maps which are so good for 3-Racks Reaper play. So the thing about Echo is there is actually quite a lot of ledges you can utilize, I think, and so I think the roaches are the right decision. If someone does this on Overgrowth, I think Masterling is fine, but on Echo, I think the roaches probably are a necessity. Nice grenades, 4 workers killed here. So just a little bit out of position. This is the annoying thing, the ability to jump up and down this main base and swap between the main and natural so quickly. That's really difficult to deal with here on Echo, so that's the one thing Snute has to be very cautious of as Reaper is going towards the main. And the thing is, only 1 roach in position means that at least some more drones are going to be going down here. And already uThermal starting to deal quite a bit of damages. Roaches and Queens pushing forward, this Ravager in the back as well. So we can see what else is going on, and oh wow, he's actually going to kill off every single Reaper though, apart from 1. All of a sudden that went dreadfully for uThermal, losing a lot of his Reapers here. A lot more than I think he bargained for, so I don't think he was quite expecting that, as we have those Reapers going to be heading back up towards the natural expansion. Some more Reapers continue to come out right now as well. Some more Reapers gathering up together in the natural expansion here. We're going to be seeing the command center is about to finish up in the natural. So as that CC finishes, we're going to be seeing an orbital morphing on in. And there's going to be 6, 7 Reapers here in total. Starting to move down to the bottom right hand side of the map. So 7 Reapers in total moving forwards. There's a lot of roaches in the front here. There's uThermal. I mean, this is the thing, when you actually kill the Reapers, the potential of a counterattack's quite high, because you can get across the map very quickly. If you don't have, if you don't kill the Reapers and you try and attack like this, you just get kited all the way back, and that was, that's never a fun thing. As we see again, these roaches and Ravagers, seeing what else is up. Another grenade going down. You just pick off one more roach there, and ooh, I mean, still good damage being done. Picks off another one. He's starting to run out of space though. Another Reaper going to try and join in. His grenades keep going down. Even want to try and loop around here in a moment or so. Joseph Bar just going where he thinks the Reapers might run to, but doesn't connect. Reapers hitting into their own grenade now as well. Still just the dance between the players. The Snute drones up behind this, going into his Link Speed third hatchery on the way. uThermal still making Reapers. No transition out of this from him just yet. No kind of sign of a, no sign of kind of a tech lab or reactor for Stimpak and so on. So these Reapers going to continue heading down towards the bottom right. They're going to be running in towards this hatchery down here very shortly. I'm just going to be seeing a few more Zerglings on the way up once again from Snute. As these Reapers pop on in here and just going to start working their way through the hatchery. Nope, just going to keep on moving forwards. The creep tumor gets picked up. Second creep tumor as well, and just pushing forwards. Another Queen taking a little bit more damage. We're going to be seeing these Lings coming forwards as well, hitting onto a few more of these Zerglings. So again, just a little bit more damage being done here and there. Another creep tumor towards the front. And this one more Reaper from the back of uThermal is continuing to move on forwards as well. So these units all join up together. 20 more Zerglings on the way in here from Snute right now. A couple of evolution chambers coming down as well. And Snute just going to sit here on the kind of on the third base with a lot of Lings. I mean, still the Reaper's trying to apply a little bit of pressure wherever possible, picking off a creep tumor if he can. Just looking to see if he can find any opportunities. Finally at home, his Stims on the way. He's getting his reactors up. And he goes into the rest of his kind of game plan here. Double engineering bay, the factory, and the starport. So finally uThermal begins his transition away from the Reaper play. Just heavily delayed because he had to make enough Reapers to make sure he stayed safe for long enough in this game. After losing the initial one. His Queen goes down here to the side as well, the Zergling's going to be thinking about chasing the Reapers. He has to be careful. I mean, chasing Reapers is always very scary. Especially when someone as good as uThermal is in control of them. Because you just never know when those grenades are just going to keep on landing and keep on being the bane of your existence. And there's going to be seeing those Reapers again. Just sat over to the right-hand side right now. Zergling's going to be coming in towards the third base. And again, the rest of these Zerglings looking to see what else they can get up to. So, moving up here, picking off a Marine. And Reapers keep on pushing forwards. And again, just looking to see what other damage they can do. Grenade goes down. Zergling's getting blasted around. I'm just going to be seeing the Reapers just going to trade it out at this point. Try and drop a few more grenades and trade as effectively as can. I actually think this was a pretty good trade for the Reapers. Altogether, the resources lost is very similar, so Snute, I mean, the income has actually been very up and down. I'd actually say, it's hard to tell. I guess uThermal was it's like math class, man, like area under the graph. Area under the graph is the overall advantage. It's pretty similar. I guess Snoot's going to start taking a little bit of a lead here while uThermal takes the third base, but I mean, just little bits and pieces, basically. Neither player really with a major advantage, I would say. So actually, overall, this is going to turn into quite a decent sort of mid-game situation here in the TVZ. And I'm going to be seeing these two medevacs starting to boost on down to the left-hand side, bottom left-hand side. So these two medevacs boosting down to the bottom left-hand side. We see a couple of upgrades continue to come in right now from Snute as well. The melee upgrades will be finishing very, very shortly. As we see the +1/+1 coming in from uThermal as well. So +1/+1 coming in from uThermal as these Marines begin to unload. A lot of Ling Bane moving forwards already. Queen's able to push those medevacs away as well. And those medevacs do back away over towards this base over here. Lings and Bane's going to be gathering together and again just starting to work their way through these rocks. Lings actually going to come around the top side and again try and work their way through this. So trying to work their way through the rocks, see what more they can do. And just open up the map a little bit here. So opening up the map, I mean that's exactly what a Zerg player wants, right? If you have an open map, you can flank a little bit more easily. One thing uThermal's obviously doing a real good job of, especially with the Reapers, is that there is really a limited amount of creep on the map for Snute. You know, he doesn't have that much at all. As he comes in with that attack at the front, he's also going to move over here as, ooh, Widowmine hits off on just a couple of things. Doesn't splash onto any Marines or anything, but still, it doesn't necessarily go the exact way you would like it to. And you see medevacs down the right-hand side, going to be continue to move down this right-hand side, thinking about popping on in towards the main, and I guess unloading here as well, see what else he can get up to. And start unloading just between the Swan Pool and the Roach Horn. You can see these Banes continue to push on forwards, and a little bit more damage starting to be done. So a little bit more damage starting to be done, and Queen. And some Zerglings continue to work their way through this medevac or so. The left-hand side, we see a couple of medevacs starting to unload as well, and again, just uThermal will continue to pressure, continue to do what he can. But for the most part, Snute's defense is solid, it's good. And what is interesting from uThermal is the production of the Hellbat/Hellions here into his army, rather than Widow Mines. So a Hellbat-based army for the mid-game. He actually has a 4 on the way up as well, as he prepares for the incoming Mutalisks. See, Snute is dropping down the Spire, and that's something we know he likes to do after his TVZs or ZvTs earlier today against Keens. So that's something we know he likes to do. So he'll start setting up into that, and these 3 medevacs just moving on over to the right-hand side here. And uThermal just going to back away a little bit off over to the left. Now that's going to finish morphing up, and again these Marines starting to stim on forwards as they want to try and push in towards this base a little bit further. And again, a couple of creep teamers here at the front from Snute, and it's going to be seeing these little bits and pieces able to help out as well. A couple of medevacs from uThermal actually going to back off then, and we're going to be seeing more Marines and Hellbats all joining up together as we see everything setting up towards this 4th base. So everything setting up towards this 4th base right now, as uThermal is just continuing to expand, continue to set up here. Hatchery comes in towards the top right-hand side, and a little bit of Ling Bane spread around as well. Huge shout out to WardiTV. Thank you very much for the huge host. Welcome everyone from Base Trade. Hope you enjoyed Make Korea Great Again. Hope you enjoyed those games. Heard you guys raised a massive prize pool for that. That's pretty insane. As right now we do have to sit back though and watch this engagement begin. Welcome, this is the WardiTV Christmas Invitational Grand Finals between Snute and uThermal. Best of 7, Game 2. And uThermal is pushing down the right side of Echo to try and take a 2-0 lead in the series. As we see Snute with the Lobbling Bane ready to go though, and our Marines will continue to spread on out and stim. I mean, 4 gets picked up as well. It's good. A little bit of smagging from uThermal, but does Snute just have a bit too much? Well, for a moment or two I thought he did, but actually now he runs out of Banes. It's sort of tough to tell. I think it's again going to come out to be a pretty even situation. uThermal will kind of pull back towards his reinforcements, and is it going to be enough? Planning forwards finishing up as well will be a good position for him to hold on to, and that's exactly what he's going to be looking for right now as that planetary finishes up. That will give uThermal a real kind of solid basis to fall back to at any point, and to keep on pushing forwards from. As Lings and Banes gathering together and, well, thinking about where they want to go. These 3 medevacs here just in the back from uThermal. It's going to be chilling out a little bit as we see a few more Zerglings coming up and Mutalisks as well. And the rest of these 4s from uThermal coming on into play also. A few more Banes coming up through the center. Some drones going up towards the upper right. And here we go. Ling Bane going to come in from the left-hand side. Try and fight away from that planetary fortress, of course. As here we go, uThermal begins to engage into this. Well, I should say Snute begins to engage in, but uThermal's pre-split is really good. Those Marines are split so well. Problem is, there's just not enough unity here. Snute has way too much, and as he charges on forwards, uThermal is going to be in a lot of trouble here. These Marines, the 4, will try and hold the natural expansion. That will work out for now, as this Ling Bane meter pulls back a little bit. The meters have been actually quite effective so far. Not necessarily in terms of harassing, but more so in terms of... more so in terms of just picking off a couple of medevacs at the trailing end of these engagements. It's been super, super successful. So, Muse have had a great time up until now, and they'll actually start harassing now as they look to go towards the 3rd base. A couple of turrets here, though, so it's difficult to hit the mineral line. I mean, you could hit Tech Lab or so. Just going to back away. Marines are nearby anyways. Straight behind all of this, he's just been left to his own devices because he's taken the map control. Top right base is taken. Bottom left base on the way. As he morphs in some more Banes, and it looks as though we're going to be set to really go into this in the next couple of moments and maybe tie things up if this fight's going to go the same way as the last couple. uThermal still building Hellbats in the army as we see Ling Bane running forwards here and seeing what else he can do. We're going to see a few changes. Blocking units coming down this ramp. In a way, they're sort of keeping these units safe now, but again, blocking for the most part, I think is definitely more disadvantageous to uThermal than it is advantageous. As we're going to be seeing Banes continue to crash in at the front, and Snute just has way too much. He breaks the natural expansion. These units are going to keep going down. The barracks go down the front as well. GG. Snute takes game number 2, and we are tied on up. As we have to the top right-hand side of the map, the blue Terrant player. It is, of course, Team Liquid's uThermal. Hitting vertical spawns here on Whirlwind. Interesting stuff so far, actually, as Snute has won his map. Snute won uThermal's map pick, and uThermal won Snute's map pick. So we're back to Snute's map pick now. Let's see how this is gonna go. To the bottom right-hand side from Team Liquid as well, of course, in this team kill in the grand finals of our Christmas Invitational. Our Red Zerg player is Snute. Sorry, Crasher, I completely forgot to hang your ball on the tree. I will do it. It's right in front of me. It's going on the tree soon. If we can fit it on the tree. Because the tree is very full of Christmas decorations right now. Can you believe we've got like 9 days till Christmas and the tree's already full? Like, I know I've been saying this for the past 2 weeks that the tree's full, but it truly is very full. Like, I don't know what else to say. The tree is very full of Christmas decorations from all of you guys being awesome and supporting the stream and stuff. So, we set up into this and get ready to jump into game 3 and wait to see how things are going to be going. From the get-go, well, going to be a factory. What comes down on the barracks? A reactor or a second marine? I think a reactor straight away. Interesting start, a bit different from uThermal. We've seen him do some sort of reactor-based openings in recent times where he goes up to 14 Marines in the Widow Mine and goes for the 2 medevacs to drop across the map with. That's something we've seen actually quite a lot from uThermal as of late. Let's see if it's going to be something he goes for once again in this, as we see. I don't think so, though. I think as though you go double Marine and then the reactor on that, but we shall see. We shall see indeed. As we set on up into this, we see a few links coming down to the low ground. Snoop, a bit of a safer opening, / more aggressive opening perhaps even, with the gas pool hatchery this time. So much faster Zergling speed than maybe what you're expecting. We're going to be seeing this SCV continue to move around. Snute just going to try and grab the kill on this right now. So Zergling continue to chase on in. And there's that starboard coming in. Widowmine does build. I guess just like a Marine Widowmine drop is kind of what we're really heading towards here right now. As we're going to be seeing the natural command center setting up and getting ready to go. A few Zerglings going to move forwards here as well. Going to be seeing a couple Marines. 3 Marines in this bunker will be enough to defend it for now. So, good stuff. And again, just the Widowmine drop is what we're setting up into here. Yeah, they definitely didn't kind of line on up for the... it definitely just did not line up at all in terms of being able to kind of go into that build which I was talking about previously with the double medevac and so on, you know. So, medevac is on the way up here. Then Queen is coming down and injecting in towards that main base. The natural third hatchery is on the way as well. Nice standard stuff so far. So we just wait. Tech Lab comes on the factory. We're going to see like a Banshee follow-up, or is this really going to be for a tank early? It's going to be for a tank early. Interesting then. Wonder how aggressive uThermal tries to get with their siege tank, you know, because it's very possible that we maybe see uThermal kind of going in with kind of a siege tank and moving forwards and, you know, dropping down and, you know, taking a couple of tanks and being aggressive with them. And it's a possibility. At the same time, it might just be a safety sort of thing. Makes a Viking now as a follow-up, so you'll start cleaning out some of these... overlords around the map. And we're going to be seeing this medevac just come down and again, just going to try and set up and see where he can go. A few more Zerglings in the center, and we're going to be seeing also that tank coming forwards, as we mentioned. Factory is going to move away. Let the Tech Lab go into the barracks, meaning that he can start up Stim. And we just continue building up here. Double Evo chamber for Snute on the way as he starts to get ready for his upgrades. Not actually sure where the Widowmine is over towards the natural expansion. So Widowmine in the natural. You see a few more of these Zerglings going down as well. Actually, Marines pulling back. Starting to kind of attack in towards this third base. We'll see a few drones having to pull away as well. Zergling taking a little bit of damage there, but then backing off once more. Zergling going down too, and Queen's pushing forward. Some Snute going to try and target down that medevac, able to push it back to the left-hand side. And more Zerglings just gathering up together still. So Morling is still gathering together. That tank again has come down on the natural and just sat there waiting to defend if necessary. There's +1/+1 melee upgrades from Snute. Continuing to roll on in as well. Viking coming in from uThermal to the right is cleaning out those overlords, as we mentioned earlier, it might be looking to do. So that first overlord going to be going down here very shortly. And going to be looking for further kills as well. It's actually already on 2 kills. He's already found 1 overlord. That was his second. And still, if there's one medevac just looking to apply some pressure, keep Snute honest, and keep an eye on what Snute's up to as well. As overall, he's gone into 5 racks though, so no third CC from uThermal on this large macro-focused map. He's instead going to really commit into damage here and dealing damage in these early stages. So 5 racks total, no third CC, and well, we'll see what Snute thinks of that very soon. We'll see what his response to this is going to be. For the most part, uThermal was obviously looking to kind of build up and take one very large, very effective fight/push, and just keep on, you know, having some momentum because he has initially a bit of a larger army because it's 5 racks, and using that momentum to push forwards with and take an advantage. Snute, on the other hand, however, will be looking to do so much kind of smaller trades, forcing uThermal to kind of delay his attack, little counterattacks maybe. All the classic Zerg things basically. Apart from taking a big straight up fight, because that's basically what uThermal wants. So, have you seen this medevac going to be with these Marines moving around still? And we're going to see this Viking up the left hand side from uThermal, having a little bit of a look around as well to see what else is going on. So, Viking moving around here, you're going to see the Marines again picking off a creep tumor. And, well, with 2 tanks and a lot more Marines, he's ready to start moving on the map perhaps. Combat shields is on the way, just now starting in +1 attack, about halfway done. So altogether, those upgrades will finish pretty close to each other. And it's again with both of those upgrades where uThermal will be hoping to really be able to attack on in here. Zergling's going to start surrounding these rocks. And those rocks are going to start taking quite a bit of damage. So rocks going to start falling on down pretty swiftly. The +2 melee and the +1 carapace coming on in from Snute as well. And there's that Baneland speed coming down from Snute also. So Baneland speed coming on down. I'm just going to be seeing these Marines, tanks, and medevacs pushing into position. He's actually attacking much sooner than I thought he would. I really thought he'd wait for his upgrades. He's going to take the opportunity, and he lifts on a couple of queens. Gets 1 kill, stands, and split up the creep between the third base and the natural already, which is always nice. I'm just going to send a few Marines forwards here to start picking off another queen, a couple of drones going down as well. The rest of the drones having to pull away, and Snute on 70 drones. Well, he really has to just start focusing on unit production. 30 army supply down, he is going to have a 1-1 upgrade lead for a few more seconds. Now just a +1 carapace lead, but that's something he has to play for. Utilize that upgrade lead, try and make that his advantage in this game, and try and use that to the best of his ability. Try and take a little bit more kind of, smaller, efficient fights. Viking lands over here to harass the 4th base, and again, in general, it's just Snute, I think, not recognizing maybe how greedy this, or how aggressive this is from uThermal, and ended up just being a little bit too greedy himself, slash maybe just, again, not expecting the attack to hit quite as soon. Marines, very good splits to the right-hand side, splitting up a single Marine at a time to just fight against those Banelings to soak the hits, and again, Marines just keep on soaking Baneling connections here. uThermal still just sat at the front, and tank moves a little bit further forward, so actually it's a new tank altogether. New tank altogether coming forwards then. Marines still working their way through that hatchery. Bane's taking a little bit of damage as well. And then we've seen some more Zerglings just continuing to go down. And we've seen that Queen continue to be targeted. It does fall. More Marines going to stim up this ramp now in towards the third natural, but he gets surrounded. Banes from the left side and the right. uThermal makes the most of it. He does manage to split away for a lot of these units. The Marine splits are good. And uThermal taking the supply lead, backed up now by Liberators. Since these Liberators will have to be a bit cautious. These Queens are actually able to fight them from out of range. And that means that one Liberator will go down almost instantly. uThermal, though, 60 army supply to the 30. And he's still just reinforcing this again and again and again. Using the tanks as a little bit of a choke point to help his Marines not get so surrounded by the Zerglings. And he's just still bringing more Marines into the equation. And Snute does not have the answer for this. He does not have a way to take these down. And it looks as though, again, it's going to be uThermal winning a map pick choice of Snute. And that's, again, it's interesting because generally you would think that Whirlwind's a pretty balanced map, honestly. It's a large map. It's quite good for Zerg in horizontal and vertical. A bit better for Terran in horizontal and vertical and cross, but it's not like Frost where the spawners make all of the difference. Because it's a bit easier to take a 4th base in this map. But, yeah, just still, I mean, winning your opponent's map picks is generally a good sign, because your opponent wanted to play on this map earlier for a reason. We're going to be seeing these Marines continue to move over to the left-hand side. There's the GG! And uThermal takes game number 3 to retake the lead in the best of 7 series. To be enjoyed here on the channel from OSC. As, oh, I knew this was coming. I'm going to have to swap the players around, and just give me a moment, guys, because I'm going to have to do some editing on this as well. Does that work? Is that too... there we go. Let's try and make it look as nice as possible for you guys, so it's at least somewhat obvious it's uThermal and stuff, because I know it's not brilliant. Alright, guys, let's do this then. We have to the top right-hand side of the map, down in the series. Down 1-2. It's going to be our red Zerg player from Team Liquid. It is Snute. Down to the south side of the map, the blue Terran player. Let's hear it. For Team Liquid's uThermal, he's 2-1 up. Could go on to match point if he wins this right here, right now. Great few games so far. Love that last one from uThermal. Aggressive, attacks forwards, and just works from there. And it worked out well. It worked out very well. What a day. It's been a good day, hasn't it? I'm excited for the OSC Cup tonight, which you just talked about, actually. I'm not sure what the lineup's looking like right now, but we've already had a few fun signups for it. In fact, I've already got to open my phone. The SCT Online Community Open, number 32, sorry. tonight. No more signups just yet. I'm going to tweet about this a little bit later because we should get some extra signups for that because it's going to be pretty fun. Again, yeah, again, just a lot of OSC points on the line, and people want to win those OSC points because they know that if they win the OSC points, they could make the difference here at the end of the year, whether they make the playoffs. And again, just to reiterate, maybe I didn't make it clear, the end of year playoffs that these top 50 players go into is a $10,000 plus tournament. You know, this ain't just some fun little thing, point system. This has been going on all year long. The overall prize pool of OSC events throughout the year has been over $200,000 with all of their partnered events and so on. But here at the very end of the year, the grand finals alone is a $10,000 event. So if you can get into that, you know, all you need to do is have one good day, become a god for a day, kill off a few players, boom, you are a few $1,000s richer. This Reaper just moving around here, just harassing early on Varney. No shenanigans out of uThermal, I would say, as he does have that reactor early. So, second racks as well. Tech Lab coming down, and he just builds up into this right from the get-go. 2-on-1 once again, exactly like we saw in Daybreak. And that did end the game pretty quickly, as Snute was just not quite prepared for the follow-up medevac of uThermal. He was ready for the first two. He just wasn't ready for medevac number 3. Overlord sat to the right-hand side. This Reaper from uThermal sat out the front as well. You're going to see this Marine just dealing a little bit of damage here. This Overlord taking a few shots in the factory. Going to be finishing up as well. So the factory finished up, going to lift and reposition itself to build the reactor, I assume. The starport builds in right next to it as well. So setting up into this, guys. Reaper is going to get caught off by these Zerglings. So the top side is going to see the drone coming in. It's going to try and save itself. Oh my god. The grenade was good, man. uThermal just always knows where to throw these grenades. I mean, when you use the Reapers so often, you get very used to knowing where to throw the grenades, right? To hit the right locations, to push the Lings back based on where they're going to be. It's one of those things you really have to feel out, and one of those things you really just learn as time sort of passes by and as you really do figure it out. Like, as you just sort of realize, like, okay, after doing this multiple times, I know these Lings are going to be there. But uThermal is just the player who seems to be so consistent with that time and time again. And so, yeah, setting up. And look to see what comes next. Impact is on the way here from uThermal. And there's 2 medevacs are on the way as well. And again, we're expecting those 16 Marines to depart this main base of the Terran player in the next 30 to 40 seconds. So aggression is on the way, and we're about to see how well Snute can deal with this. As he for now keeps on building a few more drones. Well, he did build up a few more drones. Now he's going to start Ling production. About 47 drones up here right now, and 33 from uThermal. It's about the right number of drones to kind of cut workers on, though, is what I was trying to say. As these medevacs go across to the top side of the map, 16 Marines inside of them. I'm going to be seeing the 16 of these Marines just going to be on the way up here. So 16 Marines on the way up, going to be boosting on in. And we're going to see this evolution chamber, a couple of evolution chambers. How to finish up, and again, 20 Marines, 20 Zerglings going to be continuing to roll on in as well. So, scan comes down. Going to be seeing a couple of Crypteamers getting picked off here, and again, just going to be seeing another medevac lifting up, starting to go in towards the top side. Another stim forwards here. And the drone's going to start taking a little bit of damage as these Zerglings run in, and not able to do too much more as Ling's running in once again. Not able to do too much though, and a lot of these units getting cleaned up with that issue. As uThermal, now you're nearly losing a medevac. I mean, a few drones going down, a few Zerglings going down as well. As we're going to be seeing a medevac to the left-hand side. uThermal we're just going to start dropping out of this one. That's going to be 7 Marines in the Widowmine, or 6 Marines in the Widowmine joining in. Again, only Lings right now from Snute. Can uThermal take the fight like he took on Daybreak? Well, that's going to be our question. The Widowmine will push very far forwards. The Queens will try and get some damage onto it initially. He's going to go behind the mineral line. The Widowmine goes off on the Queen. It's not bad. That's what it did on Daybreak as well. And behind the mineral line, uThermal's just going to sit here. Maybe he just lost a few too many Marines earlier to kind of actually make this really happen. He lost about 6 Marines earlier on, I think, already. So he only has 16 here, but again, the position is very good. Toggling down Queens, we're going to see medevacs are continuing to drop down dead as well. I mean, at the very least here, uThermal's traded very well. Lifts up, backs away. 47 SCVs to the 51 drones. Resources lost, very uThermal favored. Looking very, very good here for our Terran player. in game number 4, which doesn't bode well for Snute fans because he cannot afford to lose this, I don't think. Going down 1-3 makes it very difficult for him to fight back in a best of 7. You know, to pull back 3 games in a row, it's never easy. When momentum isn't on your side as well, it's the last thing you want. A couple of Zerglings going to be spotting this medevac going all the way back home. Snute will have some time to stabilize here. You've made a bit of a mistake actually. Forgetting his armory for a little while means that his 2-2 upgrades will not be able to start in time. And so without his 2-2 being able to start in time here, he is not going to be able to do too much else. As these 2 medevacs are going to be heading up towards the north and northeast side. So, a couple medevacs heading up towards the upper right. 11 Marines inside these 2 medevacs, and just looking to see how this may go. As we're going to see this one medevac to the left side going to start loading a few Marines. And these Zerglings come in and are able to pick off a couple of those Marines once again. And we're just gathering up together. All these medevacs now. Actually going to stem over. He sees a few of these Lings on their own, right? So he's just going to come on in, and it's going to be a nice few pickoffs for him. This Queen out on its own as well. No group threat to evacuate quickly with. He's going to start targeting down those Banes. Gets 1, 2, and 3. So you can sit in behind the mineral line now and trade just continuously against the Zerglings. Zerglings on their own again. They just don't do that much against Marines. And uThermal will take another great trade in this series. And it just continues, or not this series, but this game especially. He just continues to trade so efficiently, and his supply is really starting to reflect that now as well. No cancel on this 4th hatchery. That's also going to really hurt here as this hatch going to try and come down once again. +2/+2 from both players. And we're going to be seeing Marine stim right on in. This time it gets cancelled. Snute cannot afford to lose another 300 minerals out of nowhere. As we just see, uThermal still just sat behind this mineral line. He knows how abusive a position this is. He knows how good it is against the Lings. He'll stay here until the Lings fight in once more. Pick up a few more work units. And then head on out. Resources lost now 5k to the 2.2. And it is really just quite disgusting how far ahead uThermal has gotten just through very simple Marine-based engagements over the next last few minutes of the game. So Snute really starting to hurt a little bit, really starting to bleed, trying to get his 2-shot upgrades up. He's got his Spire on the way as well. He's trying to get in towards those middle lists as we've seen in previous games. And that's kind of the direction he tends to take here off of the Ling Bane, rather than rushing up into Ultras, as we saw from Nurture earlier when playing against Alive. Looking up here into these medevacs. Widow Mine very nearly going off onto the center of those Zerglings. That would have been disastrous. As these Zerglings pulling in over to the left-hand side once again. 2 more medevacs going over to the left here as well. I'm just going to be dropping off over the next few moments to, again, continue seeing what else they can do. So these couple of medevacs going to be unloading. As you see these Marines unloading from the medevacs on the right-hand side, picking up a couple of creep tumors already. Another scan forwards, and again, more creep continuing to go down. Once again, uThermal will just control the map with these drops and just slowing down the Zerg players so often, so frequently. And even if he starts to drop off over here, these Zerglings, I mean, they just don't take a good trade. They're just not in the right position. They don't have the right up, you know, they don't have an upgrade lead or anything to work with. They just don't trade well enough. Marine's going to start unloading once again. We're going to be seeing this Queen going to be going down here momentarily. We're going to be seeing a few more Lings and Banes moving forwards also. You can see actually those medevacs moving away from the natural expansion. The drop comes in towards the 3rd base too, lifts up before the Banes arrive. Again, Snute's just running around in circles after uThermal at this point, as he continues to just trade and trade and trade. Drilling Claws on the way of 3-3. We're just going to be seeing Corruptors from Snute. I don't mind that idea at this point. I don't really think the kind of Mutalisks would be a great thing to go into when you're behind like this. Something like the Corruptors are a little bit more sturdy. They're guaranteed to get rid of the medevacs during the engagements. I think that's what we've really got to look towards right now in terms of how does Snute come back into this, because he is in a tough position. He's not in a good position at all in terms of kind of the overall gameplay right now. And I think Corruptors are much better. I mean, Mutas can be one of those units that can bring you back into a game if you can get enough of them up. The problem would be that uThermal, because he's being so aggressive, uThermal would just kill Snute while he tries to go into Mutas. Whereas I think that for the Corruptors, I think the Corruptors definitely do help a little bit more in terms of actual straight-up fights, so I kind of like this a bit more. We're going to be seeing the Corruptors. I mean, Mutas can take parts in fights as well, and they can clean up on the ground, but not in the position Snute's in. With the Corruptors, yeah, I feel as though they're always there. They're never going to die. You're not going to have to replace them. You build these 8, maybe you lose 1, but for the most part, they will still be there. You know, the Marines aren't going to get rid of them super easily. Like, Mutas can go down. I think that's really one of the important things to note here. Is going to be seeing another attack into the natural. Snute again is just all over the place. Some Lings in the center of the map going to be picked up by reinforcing units, and There's just more damage being taken. 9 drones going down as uThermal already kind of free splitting a little bit. Just going to hide behind this mineral line and again just trade it out with these Zerglings. He doesn't have free yet, otherwise this would be really disastrous. Lifts up once more, but still pushing up the left-hand side. More bio units, reinforcing these Widow Mines, which are already in position down here. As Lings and Banes continue to morph on in another Widow Mine. Burrows here towards the front. We're going to be seeing a few of those drones starting to go down. Baneland's going to connect towards the front as well. A bit more damage being done there. Marauders and Marines continue to drop on down. We're just going to be seeing another stim of these Marines as Banes crash in once again. And Widow Mines are off on their own, tries to split them up, and he does manage to minimize the damage he takes from those. And we're going to be seeing still more reinforcing stride, just continue to kind of ride on in from uThermal. I mean, when does this ever end? When does Snute get a break? Well, I just don't think he does. Corruptors aren't even in the fight to try and work their way through the medevacs of this because they've been trying to deal with the drop on the right-hand side. And, well, uThermal splits back once again, and as he splits back, he's got more units running forwards as well as reinforcements still continue to come across the map here. Another the Overseer gets blown up, and actually goes, the Changelings go down with it. Big Widow Mine connection, 20 kills. As more Widow Mines keep on going off, just picking off units as Snute tries to chase this across the map. For a moment or two, the supplies evened up until that 20-kill Widow Mine came into play. And that really kind of shook things around a little bit. Snute taking a lot of damage from those mines. And that isn't the best of situations for him, as now uThermal will get a few moments to recover once again, pulling his units over to the right-hand side here. Some Marines and a Marauder sat on the watchtower. And getting ready to keep on attacking up this right-hand side. We're going to see some Zerglings gathering together on the left. Another Widow Mine shot going down, and all these Widow Mines getting cleaned up right now. Marines from uThermal going to be moving forwards here as well from the right-hand side, moving over towards the left, and looking to see these Corruptors overhead as well. So Corruptors overhead as well, and we've seen these Marines in the fore continue to trade out with these Zerglings and Banelings. Widow Mine burrows once more. Connection just on a single Baneling. Will then get cleaned up by the Baneling itself. So it's just tough. I mean, uThermal has these free upgrades, and that's huge in this situation. Hive hasn't even started yet from Snute, and I just don't think there's any chance he even gets towards one. He's got to invest into an infestation pit and then the Hive. There's no way he gets up to free. So he's going to be fighting behind on upgrades for the rest of this game. He's down on supply in both workers and in army. I mean, he's even on bases on the Terran player, which is basically like being down as well. Marines stim on forwards, drones begin to drop, and Marines will split on up in a few different directions. Banes starting to go on down here as, again, Marine's going to sit towards the front, and the Four working his way through this hatchery as well. Hatchery is very close to going down. So Corruptors from the backside. Oh my god, the Widow Mines do so much splash to those though. As uThermal will just split on back, and he still has Marines left over, a few Zerglings left. I mean, he just has reinforcements somewhere, right? That'll just going to kind of come in and kind of clean this up. He's actually only up kind of 20-ish army supply. But I thought it was going to be more. I was going to see, there we go. Oh my god, these Marines. He hadn't reinforced in a little while, it seems. He's going to see these Lings just get massacred, and, well, Snute takes down this 5th base, but so what? Does it matter when uThermal has so many units marching up towards the Terran, towards the Zerg side of the map? Widow Mines again picking off another Corruptor here, doing a bit more splash to the rest of them, and just continuing to work his way through. Snute's going to lose his 5th base just as quickly as uThermal lost his, as we're going to be seeing those Widow Mines burrowing, a Baneling or two coming forwards here. Widow Mines going to start going off all over the shop, but for the most part, there's just too many units, as uThermal going to be splitting backwards, and so they continue to clean up more and more of these units. GG! uThermal takes game number 4, and he is 3-1 up in this best. Hey, well, not for the day, but the last game for now. As we have to the top left-hand side, we're going to be having the OSCE Community Open tonight. We have to the top left-hand side the red Terran player. Let's hear it, guys, for uThermal. Sorry, the thing is broken. Give me a moment. Fixed. uThermal! And to the top right-hand side, our blue Zerg player from Team Liquid. It is Snute. Thank you very much, Bad Rocks, for subscribing. Welcome back. Thank you very much. Appreciate your sub once again. You also get a ball in the tree. We don't mess around over here. We all get balls and decorations, whatever. Let me know what you want, buddy, and thank you for subscribing once again. I appreciate it. As we set on up, I mean, Reactor is coming on down here from uThermal. Going to be setting up and seeing what's going to happen. Snute going to be moving on in towards the main base. It's again the single Marine into the Reactor on the barracks. Something we haven't seen from uThermal in this series so far is the play with the kind of cyclones being reacted out. And that has been such a popular way of going about things as of late in the TVZ, as he does hide this barracks behind his mineral line. That will be kind of stopping Snute from getting too much further information for now. And Snute doesn't know exactly what this will be just yet then, is he actually will probably be able to pick off this Overlord. So Overlord is going to be going down. Overlord falls, and just like that, we're going to be seeing uThermal just again denying vision of Snute early in the game. Wonder if Snute decides to go in towards a pneumatized carapace. He won't actually, he doesn't have any gas mining, but I was going to say maybe that's a possibility given the situation. Just to take a moment as well, guys, again, thank you so much for subbing. That's 168 subs, I think, one now. That's crazy. That's like actually crazy, like 168 subs. 173 is the most we ever had, and that was during like the Twitch Prime Rush, so that's really insane. So thank you so much for continuing to support. Now, this is going to be Snute being a bit aggressive here early on. More and more Zerglings collecting up in the center, and they're going to be running forwards. The idea here is they want to try and catch some of these Marines, and hopefully, hope that they're out of position. For now, uThermal keeping them in a good spot though on the ramp, looking to be able to defend this here in the next few moments. Lings gathered up together then, and here we go. Zerglings move on forwards. Marines immediately pull back here, getting in towards that little bit of a choke point. These Marines and SCVs will pull forwards as well. Knowing he needs some SCVs to tank, uThermal will have played against this sort of stuff before. It's a perfect response. Uses 2 workers, a few Marines. Good defense. Kills off all the Zerglings, and yeah, it's pretty much exactly how you want it to be. Perfect stuff from uThermal, exactly how you should respond. And that's why you always want to leave these Marines on the ramp up here instead of having them down on the low ground. If they're on the low ground, boom, they get surrounded. Those Zerglings kill them off, and all of a sudden, the game is more or less over already. Marines going to start talking down those unbuildable plates, so plate's going to be dropping down here in a few moments. The drone going to be popping on over to the third base, and we're going to see the Bane and Nest coming down as well. So Bane and Nest coming on in, setting up to see just the kind of mid-game continuing on from Snute. He's actually making a lot more Lings right now. I guess he's getting to that sort of stage where he's getting ready to defend against the incoming Marine attack from uThermal. He knows now, I think, with the amount of Marines he saw, what this build order is. So he knows what's up, he knows what's happening. And we see a couple of medevacs about to pop. So Snute knows what this is. Getting that Bane Nest up nice and early to defend against it. And these Zerglings just spreading around in the main and natural as well. If he makes enough units, I mean, there's always that potential of a counter-attack as well from Snute. So that's something to keep in mind. Let's see if he goes back into drones here shortly, because I feel as though he should have more than enough units at this point. These medevacs flying across. Snute does send a few Lings across the map, keeps some at home. Again, that's the potential of those Banes just morphing in aggressively to go and counter-bust here in the near future. So that, or you just want to set up a surround and come in from 2 different angles to kind of catch these Marines if they move in towards the front. It's easy to set the front now. He just send those Zerglings forwards. He's just going to try and run by. Well, I mean, if he does, there's a full wall off, so he's not going to be too successful with that. We're seeing Lings will run on in to help out with this, and Queen's already talking down those medevacs. And there we go, Bane's on the way, so Snute is going to be going for this little bit of a bust. We were sort of theorizing as a possibility in this. And we're going to be seeing some more Zerglings moving in as well, once again. Marines a little bit slow to lift up. Now they're going to go across the map. Does uThermal recognize this? He's going to have no units at all at home, because he's just brought everything across the map in this next medevac. So uThermal, can he hold on against this? At the same time, Snute might take a lot of damage as well. Oh man, this is going to be painful. We're going to see Bane's trying to get up this ramp. He actually explodes to try and get through this kind of couple of units to the front a bit faster. Here we go, 5 workers killed, but Snute has to give up his own 3rd hatchery. So let's hope he's going to get damage done that's worthwhile back on this side of the map. Already 8 workers going down, and that's going to keep on increasing because there's a lot of Marines over here. Widowmine goes off on a Queen. That cooks it off there. As these Queens rest them, trying to back away. Drones will pull in as well to try and help clean this out. 25 workers killed by Snute. But now he's starting to lose his own drones as Queen's trying to hold on. Lings and Banes moving forwards as well. uThermal going to lose 1 medevac. Going to lose the 2nd. No, just gets away. That first medevac going down full of units is definitely painful in and of itself. As that Zergling is going to get picked off. Nothing left in the main base now any longer. As the rest of these Zerglings here from Snute going to pick away at that one last depot at the front here. And a few more Zerglings still coming across the map. And these couple of depots here from uThermal, well, they are up. Snute starts morphing a couple more Banes, but I think he's done enough here to make this bust worthwhile. And if he has, then we might very well be going to a game number 6. As we see, uThermal still has a lot of army, though. He still has a lot of Marines. And I would say never doubt the Marines as we see the, Banes. They actually take down this barracks and the depot. But now uThermal again, he has Marines with combat shields and stim, and it's still just Ling Bane from Snute. And again, I can't stress that enough. Marines can trade so well against this sort of army. It's actually a little bit crazy. Targets down the bane lanes, and, well, target down the bane lanes all of a sudden now. These Zerglings have to turn around, go back home, and uThermal can continue to be aggressive. So I really thought Snute had done enough here, but maybe not. And the fact that uThermal still just has, again, so many Marines, so much army to work with is just kind of indicative that he's probably going to get more damage done with this. So I'm a little bit intrigued. Now, we are going to be seeing 38 drones to 22 SCVs, so the economy is still good from Snute. It's just about whether uThermal can do enough with these kind of continued Marine drops in the near future. If he backs away and just sits back passively, then I definitely do prefer this from Snute. Obviously, upgrades right now dead even. 0-0 apiece because the engineering base got killed off at the front, and Snute never had the money to invest into evolution chambers. These Marines pushing forward, Zerglings going down, and well, there is that medevac from uThermal. Starting to come through the top side, one down to the south as well. And again, for him right now, just multitasking, trying to take these small little trades and continuing to see what else he can get up to. I mean, this medevac going to drop in the main. Snute's going to be very quick to react to that, though. Still 28 SCVs to the 41 drones. See that income tab, Snute's been ahead for the good part of this. Army supplies have been pretty interesting as well to kind of watch. I do love these graphs. I feel as though I can't use them enough because they are just so interesting to kind of see exactly what's happening in the game. They're such good indicators of what's been going on. Really do love it as we see these couple of liberators up the top side of the map. uThermal are going to be moving on through across this top side, and well, Zerglings gathering up in the main base. I'm going to be seeing the scan coming down, and Baneland speed starting up from Snute as well. So Bane speed starting up here from Snute, as uThermal is going to be again moving forwards with these couple of liberators, and I mean it's just going to unload on the low ground here once again. There's two liberators still from uThermal moving around. Bane speed on the way up from Snute as we see more Zerglings on the way in. The burrow upgrade coming down as well. Snute continuing to set up into this. There's a few more Marines just going to unload over here. Still these drops. And the liberators just going to be such a nuisance over the near future. Army supply is still dead even. uThermal still down in overall supply. Heavily down in the work account. 5 racks in it. He's not going to take a third CC. Probably because by the time he takes a third, he may as well just float his main base over towards a third base instead, I guess. I mean, he's not going to be too far from that. Yeah, actually, especially if he was still mining in the main base. He's not mining with everything, otherwise I think he would be getting to that situation pretty quickly. That's a smart thing as well, mining out his natural with more workers, so he doesn't mine out as fast, whether it's intentional or not. I guess it'll work out quite nicely for him, unless he wants to mine out the main fast, as he can take a third base. But then it is just still more kind of, more kind of ground to cover, right? And ground to cover isn't necessarily a good thing. But then he can maybe have access to more income, or does he? It's an interesting sort of little debate I'm having with myself here. I think it's kind of better for him to not mine out the main, because he's not going to get that much of a benefit from a gold from a third base if he's still only on 2 CCs, because it's still going to be the same amount of workers, right? So yeah, I guess it's better for him to mine out the natural a bit faster than the main. And we've seen this 4th base up from soon again. uThermal fighting an uphill battle, but it's still very possible here. Neither player with the upgrades. Ling Bane against Marine Medevac. It's like these guys have just agreed to play like to slug it out on this sort of low-tech set of units and not give them any upgrades or anything. Just see what happens. It's been not something you see every day, I suppose, in the TVZ. uThermal with a larger attack drawing up together now, but it's again only Marines. This man's micro is very, very good. Is it good enough? Well, there's only Zerglings here right now. Where is Snute? I have no idea. He's losing some mining around the map as we actually see uThermal with liberators in good positions to start picking off some of those workers. And we've seen this 4th base into heavy fire. Spore probably going to go down. Ling's starting to move on forwards. Marines on the low ground going to try and help as well. Oh, those Zerglings just absolutely melt. I mean, you don't need an upgrade advantage or anything. If you're in a choke point like this, Zerglings do not trade well at all. Well, again, they are finding the exact same thing out once again. And we're just going to be seeing these Zerglings are going to have to back away. More Banes morphing in as we get ready to attack once more, I think, but still, 4th hatch has now fallen, and uThermal can just lift up out of here whenever things get a little bit too messy for him and just join up on the low ground with the rest of his units. 2 more medevacs coming across, and a little bit more healing now available. These machines on the low ground have simmed so many times but haven't actually been used at all. It's a little bit entertaining to actually see them just stimming like, oh, let me join the fight. And it's like, no, dudes, you're the low ground Marines. You fight the stuff from the low ground. Like, but there's nothing on the low ground. It's like, what if there is? They just have to stay there and just keep on fighting over each other. It's like, look, we're so ready to fight. We're going to take more drugs. Trust us. We're responsible. Put us on the high ground. uThermal continues to push over this side of the map. Snute establishes a gold base behind this as well, so he still has 4 bases up, 35 to 43 workers, 99 to 71 army supply, and that 99 supply is on the side of uThermal, so really he is looking to get so much done with this here. Marines, medevacs, mines now mixed in as well. That's something we haven't yet seen from uThermal, and which could make such a big difference in this. There's a few more Banelings starting to morph on in, 26 more Lings being built right now as well. A few more creep tumors coming down as these queens just setting up the creep to the top side. Marines, a couple of medevacs and Marines going to load up already and actually drop up to the high ground. Some gold-based drones going to start falling here already. Ling's very quickly going to come in to respond. A couple more Ridder mines while they're going to go down instantly. No chance to burrow there. And Snute going to take this fight on the low ground as well. Now those low ground Marines wishing they were high ground Marines even more so as they drop on up to the high ground. Some of them do get that promotion they've been hunting for. The drop on the high ground is actually just doing so much damage. uThermal puts himself into such a great position up here. Does so much damage. 7 more drones and uThermal takes a lead and Snute is hurting. uThermal, he's used the efficiency of the units. He's taken the one advantage he knows he maintains in this, and he has made it work. This hatchery is going to go down, and this is just going to be GG. I think Snute, I don't think he has a way to fight this anymore. He's so far behind. Oh, the burrowed Banelings. Well, if there's ever a map for burrowed Banelings to make a difference in a game at a crucial moment, it's got to be Habitation Station. This could be absolutely insane. If you get some good burrowed Baneling connections, it's pretty much the only way you can make this happen. A counterattack to pick off reinforcements is a good start as well, but Snute needs efficient trades, and that's, this is the definition of efficiency. Fighting with a good clump of units against a very small number of reinforcements. So that's very good for him up until now. uThermal scans again, checks this base, trying to just keep Snute away from a fourth. Time for him to maybe lift up this main and move it over towards his own gold or so in the very near future. Still moving around the map. uThermal's income is actually still down. Snute is still mining more than uThermal here. Snute also has the 1-1 upgrade, so that's something which is finished up. And the upgrades are really kind of making a difference right now, I think. As we're going to see these Zerglings moving forwards again, Marines will stim on it. And these Zerglings just going to continue to take a little bit more damage as they get cleaned up. So, getting cleaned up over here. If your SCV is going down, uThermal is moving towards that gold. And he, again, just continues to stabilize. A few more Zerglings up to the top side. We're going to see a few more Lings and Banes to the south. We're going to see Queens transfusing up over here. Those burrowed Banes, man. I'm so ready. I'm so ready to see some Bane connections. It's the only thing you can rely on. Like, he's so far down, Snute. He needs a miracle. And those burrowed Banelings are the beginning of it. Let's see if it's going to happen. We're going to be seeing the Marines setting up to the south side, starting to push on forwards. The Liberators are going to be in part of this as well. I mean, this is going to be so tough. So difficult. He scans. I mean, he keeps on scanning. This is the thing. He isn't being caught by any burrowed Banes right now at uThermal. Not with how careful he's being in this. There's going to be seeing Zergling starting to run on forwards. Here we go. Ling Bane runs on in. Liberator's going to start firing away on a few of those Banelings as well. The Spore Crawler is going to be taking some more damage too. Is eventually going to be, actually stays alive. Liberator's going to push a bit further forwards. That's what these Queens are here for. Marines pushing up the ramp as well. Again, burrowed Banes on here. So Snute just has to rely on good Baneling connections straight up. But right now it's just not happening. He gets a few. But is it enough? I really don't think it is. It's pushing on in. uThermal takes down another couple of creep teamers. Some more Zerglings going down as well. And we're just going to be seeing, again, more and more of these Queens dropping down. A few more Zerglings to the left-hand side. The Spore Crawler. About to drop 2. Oh, big Baneling connection onto all of those Marines. As these units continue to commit on in. And, well, uThermal just keeps on taking these fights, which he needs to take. And Snute isn't doing anything about it right now. Some Zerglings down the south side. If we could have got a surround there, that would have been huge. Shut down so much of this. But the Widow Mines instead are just going to do so much damage. And Snute's supply drops lower and lower. Targets the Banes to the south side as well. Widow Mines keep pushing across. These Liberators still sit in position. 11 and 12 kills on them as one goes down. 18 kills on this one, which I didn't see before, actually. Oh, wow. So that's so much damage from the Liberators. I mean, again, we can just see how this is ending. A crazy game between uThermal and Snute, where uThermal looked to be in a lot of trouble early, made it happen. And again, players like uThermal that can do this with the efficiency of their Marines, with their micro, with their multitasking to get damage done across the map while not losing too much back at home and finding a way to stabilize, as we're going to be seeing. Again, more and more Queens going down. GG Snute. He's going to tap on out, and that makes uThermal your WardiTV Christmas Invitational champion.